feels like that man strength is now starting to come. 2 out of your 3 fights of your last 3 have ended in knockout as well. Are you feeling yourself getting bigger and stronger?
Yeah, definitely. I've filled right into the weight. I'm a massive super lightweight now. I'm punching harder. Everything's coming together at the right time. Obviously, I'm getting that age now. I'm maturing. Everything's coming together. This camp, I've been sparring the best I've ever been sparring. So I'm really looking forward to the 20th of April.
And that last win, Billy Allington, that felt like a bit of a statement from you.
Yeah, like you say, that was a step-up fight. It was quite a big step-up fight as well. He boxed for the British title against Dalton Smith the fight before that. So to jump straight in there with him, and that was only my 11th fight, it was a statement in itself.
So you're sparring, Sam Noakes was telling me how difficult it is to spar you, and particularly how your body is just made out of stone. He's hitting you to the body and you're just walking about like nothing's happened. It sounds like you're having a good time here in the gym.
I think I've just got used to him. I've done that many rounds with him now. I think I've just got used to his power a little bit. But no, like you say, Sam's a great fighter, and I probably can't ask for any better sparring. You're never going to get someone, I don't believe, as strong as him and coming forward as aggressive and relentless as Sam Noakes. So if you can deal with Sam in the gym, and we have very good spars together, and I'm ready for anything on the night.
Where do you see yourself in this weight division at the moment? It's a very good weight division in this country. Obviously, Dalton Smith is the British champion. Yeah. Adam Azim was the European champion. He's vacated that belt. These are kind of your peers. Where do you place yourself?
I place myself right at the top, with them. I know how good I am, I know how good I can be, and it's only a matter of time before I'll have that British title, and I'll be pushing on for all them, the Europeans and everything like that. I put myself right up there. I know how good I am. Like you said, a great domestic vision, like Adam Azim, Dalton Smith. You've even got Pierce O'Leary's over here with Queensberry. There's some great fighters in the division. So domestically, I think it's one of probably the best divisions in this country.
Well, Pierce O'Leary was going to be my next question, because he is a Queensberry stablemate. He used to be an iBox stablemate, but he's not anymore. So that feels like more and more, to me anyway, like a realistic potential fight. If you're no longer training together, you're in the same weight division, you're both coming along. I think you've both got WBC baubles as well. Is that something you've thought about?
Yeah, I think that fight, probably down the line, there'd be a better fight, to be honest with you, when it makes more sense and there's better titles and everything on the line. Obviously better money, better titles, it'd be a great fight.
I mean, you must have done countless rounds with him when he was in this gym as well. I would have paid to watch those spars, Henry.
Yeah, some great sparring, like you say. Me and Pierce done loads and loads and loads of rounds, helping each other for all our fights. He's a great talent, like I am, I'm a great talent. So yeah, them kind of fights in the future would be a great matchup.
This is big. This is the European title against a guy who's, he's very good, Yven Mendy. Tell me your thoughts on this.
He's a tough old fella, dude. He's a tough old fella. No, listen, we know we're in for a long night. I know he's going to be very durable, but as he said, he ain't fought Sam Noakes yet. Like, we ain't seen him been hurt in any of his other fights. But listen, he's obviously been about a while. He's a veteran of the game. I think, listen, in the most respect, he's probably had his time, and I'm on the way up. So it's time to sort of get on the Sam Noakes hype. Do you know what I mean? Get on the Sam Noakes train. I'm going to get that European title, and then it puts me in a good position.
This would be a serious statement-making kind of win, though. Yvon Mendy, only a couple of fights ago, was in with Denis Beranchyk, who's about to challenge for a world title. He's a very, very high-calibre fighter.
So I'm saying this year's turning out to be a real good one. I mean, obviously, you think last year had a little bit of inactivity, and then now British champion already, and then now fighting for the European against obviously a good world-level opponent. And as you say, come through there with flying colours, mate. It puts me in a real good position for the end of the year.
Were you expecting such a quick kind of turnaround from suddenly British champion to challenging for the European?
Dev, listen, so it was like, right, for the British title, sweet. And then fight week, we're fighting for the WBO International. And then I'm top 10 with the WBO. And then it was like mentioned, right, we'll fight in July for the European. I said, all right. And then he said, oh no, we're not going to do it in July, we'll do it in April. And this was like a week ago. So it's all just coming quick. But I mean, obviously that means Frank and Francis got a lot of faith in me, and I don't want to let them boys down. So I'm going to get that and bring that title home, and hopefully my mum probably steal that one off me as well.
Has he put a bit of fear in you?
It's not a bit of fear in me, no. It's more hunger, really. Like, listen, obviously every boxer says, I'm in it for a hard fight. So listen, I'm not doubting that this is going to be a tough fight. Do you know what I mean? He's a good opponent, but that's what we're in it for, and it's a good step up for me. And then obviously just to see if I'm not just a hype job. Do you know what I mean? To see if the power does carry through. So I'm looking forward to it. It's nice to have, not say just have a challenge, because the other boys have been challenges, but this is definitely going to be my hardest fight to date.
He's had a few losses, but he's never been stopped, never been hurt, as you said as well. This is kind of the ultimate test of your power, isn't it?
Well, listen, we'll see, innit? We'll see if it's just we're going to carry over. But I mean, I've been hearing in my whole career that I'm strong and I hit hard and I'm durable. So now is the time to prove it. Obviously, put all the naysayers saying, nah, it's just because you've had easier position. As you say, if do it to Mendy, then you can't argue it, can you? Really?
But even a win is actually brilliant, isn't it, against this guy?
I ain't losing, Dev. I ain't losing, mate. No way. I ain't come this far to trip up now, mate.
You ready for the 12 rounds if you need it?
I'm ready for it. 100%.
Anything different happening in camp for this one?
No, I mean, listen, it's just another fight at the end of the day. I think obviously going in there's a bit more of a game plan, as in obviously I knew them other people would fold. Do you know what I'm saying? I knew if I went out all gun-ho, they ain't going to be able to do 8 rounds with me. This guy's going to have to sort of go in a little bit more tactical, because he's been there, he's seen it, he's probably had however many younger fighters go, right, I'm going to be the first to stop him, but we are ready for it. I mean, obviously Al's a brilliant coach. We've been working, as I said, I've had more harder rounds than I could count, so I'll put him in good stead for it.
Well, hello, ladies and gentlemen, and a very warm welcome to viewers joining us on the TNT Sports and Queensberry social media channels. It is weigh-in day here in London ahead of Championship Boxing at York Hall, live from 7:45 Saturday night, tomorrow night, on TNT Sports. We're at British Boxing's spiritual home of York Hall, and the main event, well, this is a guy who knocks everybody out. 13 fights, 13 wins, 13 knockouts. Sam Noakes takes on by far the toughest test of his career, vacant European title on the line against Yven Mendy, a man who, by the way, has never, ever been knocked out. Plenty on the line, 7:45 tomorrow night. Well, today's all about the weigh-in. I'm looking around, I'm seeing a lot of hungry-looking fighters, so let's begin the weigh-in process. Firstly, we'll begin with 4 rounds in the middleweight division. Let's first welcome to the scales, competing in his 58th professional contest from Perm, Russia, Vasyv Mamedov. This will be a 4-round middleweight contest tomorrow evening at York Hall. Vasyv Mamedov about to take to the scales.
Step up nice and still. £165, 4 ounces.
£165 and 4 ounces. Okay, now let's welcome to the scales a young man making his professional debut. He's a multi-time Irish national amateur champion. Please welcome from Ballyhornis Island, Yven Lavin.
£161, 8 ounces.
£161 and 8 ounces. Professional debut for Yven Lavin coming up tomorrow evening at York Hall. Get some photos and a face-off. Okay, 4 rounds in the middleweight division tomorrow evening at York Hall. Our next contest that we will weigh in is 6 rounds in the super welterweight division. Let's first welcome to the scales, competing in his 14th professional fight, joining us from Moselle, France, Remy Scholar.
£158, 2 ounces.
£158 and 2 ounces for Remy Scholar. Okay, let's bring to the scales his opponent. He is unbeaten with a record of 1 win and no defeats. He is a highly decorated amateur. Joining us from Bexley Heath, please welcome Jack the Ripper Oliphant. £160 for Jack Oliphant.
Face off, guys.
6 rounds in the super welterweight division tomorrow evening, Jack Oliphant and Remy Scholar. We'll now move to 4 rounds in the middleweight division. Let's first welcome to the scales, competing in his 12th professional contest, joining us from Narvia, Estonia, Artem Sparta.
Keep still. 161 pounds.
161 pounds for Artem Sparta. Now let's welcome to the scales his opponent. He is unbeaten with a record of 2 wins and no defeats, with 1 win coming by way of knockout. Joining us from Luton, please welcome Sam King.
161 pounds.
161 pounds for Sam King.
Face off, guys. Face the front first. Face the front. Face off, guys.
All right, 4 rounds in the middleweight division tomorrow evening at York Hall, Sam King and Artem Sparta. We now move to the lightweight division. Let's first welcome to the scales, competing in his 13th professional contest, joining us from Brighton, please welcome Mark Butler.
£130 even.
£130 for Mark Butler. Okay, now let's welcome to the scales. He is unbeaten with a record of 2 wins and no defeats. Joining us from Upminster, please welcome Billy Boom Boom Adams.
£132 even.
£132 for Billy Boom Boom Adams.
Face front first, guys. Front first. Face off, guys.
All right, 4 rounds in the lightweight division. Billy Boom Boom Adams taking on Mark Butler. Our next contest that we will weigh in is 8 rounds in the bantamweight division. Let's first welcome to the scales, competing in his 30th professional contest, joining us from Managua, Nicaragua, Darwin Martinez. £120 for Darwin Martinez. Now let's welcome to the scales his opponent. He has a record of 10 wins, only 1 defeat, with 9 wins coming by way of knockout. Introducing the former WBC International Silver Champion from Liverpool, Andrew Cain.
£119, 8 ounces.
£119 and 8 ounces for Andrew Cain.
Face the front first, guys. Face off.
Eight rounds tomorrow evening in the bantamweight division. The return of Andrew Cain against Darwin Martinez. Our next contest that we will weigh in is 8 rounds in the cruiserweight division. Now, this is the fight where Aloys Junior will be making a big TV statement. His opponent will weigh in tomorrow, but we'll bring to the scales now Aloys Junior, who will weigh in today. Let's welcome to the scales. He has a record of 6 wins, only 1 defeat, with 6 wins coming by way of knockout. Joining us from Penge, Aloys, the Animal Junior.
£205.
£205 for Aloys Junior. Now, Aloys' opponent will weigh in tomorrow, but we should get some photos of Aloys while he's here. Can't come in that kind of shape and not get some photos, can you?
Dean, face off.
Thank you. Aloys Junior in action tomorrow evening, 8 rounds in the cruiserweight division. Our next contest that we will weigh in is for the WBC International Silver Super Lightweight Championship. Let's first welcome to the scales the challenger. He has a record of 16 wins, only 4 defeats, with 14 wins coming by way of knockout. Joining us from Barranquilla, Colombia, Michael Mendoza.
Stay still, please. £140.
£140 for Michael Mendoza. All right, now let's welcome to the scales his opponent. He is unbeaten with a record of 12 wins and no defeats, with 4 wins coming by way of knockout. He is the reigning, defending, undefeated WBC International Silver Super Lightweight Champion, the Showman, Henry Turner.
£140.
£140 for Henry Turner. Both fighters have made championship weight. WBC International Silver Super Lightweight Championship on the line tomorrow evening, live on TNT Sports.
Pass me that belt.
Face the front first, over.
Well done, Al. Please. Good. Thank you, guys.
10 rounds for the WBC International Silver Super Lightweight Championship. It is now time to weigh in the main event participants. The vacant EBU European Lightweight Championship will be on the line. Let's first welcome to the scales with a record of 48 wins, only 6 defeats and 1 draw. With 22 wins coming by way of knockout, he is the reigning IBF International Champion and the former EBU European Lightweight Champion. Joining us from Paris, France, please welcome Yven Mendy. Yven Mendy, a former European champion himself, and is looking to get his belt back.
Still, hands by his side.
It's okay?
Step up. Please do. No. Nice and still, hands by his side. £134, 2 ounces.
£134 and 2 ounces. Yven Mendy has made championship weight. Okay, now let's welcome to the scales his opponent. He has a perfect unbeaten record, 13 fights, 13 wins, 13 knockouts. He's the reigning British and Commonwealth champion, challenging for the European Championship. Please welcome from Maidstone, Sam Noakes.
Nice and still, Sam. Yeah, step up. Hands by your side. Nice and still.
£134, 10 ounces.
134 pounds and 10 ounces. Both fighters make championship weight ahead of tomorrow night's main event, live on TNT Sports from 7:45 from British Boxing's spiritual home of York Hall. Sam Noakes, Yven Mendy, we're about to see a face-off. Yven Mendy, a former European champion. Sam Noakes is the British and Commonwealth champion, unbeaten. Vacant European title on the line.
Back goes to the old buzzy. 4 sets to worry about.
Face off, guys.
There we have it. That is your main event tomorrow evening. Sam Noakes, Yven Mendy, European Lightweight Championship on the line. For those watching on the stream, do stick with us. We're going to try and speak to the room as much as we can. So don't go anywhere. Don't go anywhere.
Sound like such an old key. I'm going out bowling. They follow you.
Well, we've seen the fighters all weigh in. I'm delighted to be in the company of the manager of not just Sam Noakes, but also Henry Turner. We was talking about this earlier. Is this the first time that you've had a Francis Warren managed fighter main event? I was racking my brains.
Yeah, I mean, we had Dennis and Ianu
Yes,
Baluta. They had a great fight, didn't they, last year? But yeah, I mean, it was a terrific fight. But I'm very proud of having both Sam and Henry on Saturday night, and Sam headline and Henry chief support. So yeah, it's quite a night for me personally, but obviously more importantly than anything, these two guys have got they're very, very tough fights, and it's going to be a terrific night.
Well, let's start with Sam. That is the main event. A proud moment, as you said. First time that he's been main event, and what a fight. It's quite a quick turnaround as well, which is something I noticed. February to April. He's only just become the British champion. Tell us why this is the right step right now against Yven Mendy.
Well, we had one eye on this, the winner of Mendy and Patera, who were due to fight for the European title around sort of now. And we were looking to do the winner of that in July. But the opportunity arose, and timing's everything sometimes. And I think that Sam's on a bit of a roll. The momentum he's got behind him at the moment. Commonwealth champion, British champion. Had some good fights. I mean, Lewis Sylvester put up. We all thought that was going to be a tough fight, and fair play to Lewis. He had a good first round, but from then on, Sam dominated the fight and looked fantastic. So if he can carry on that form into this fight against a very proven, not quite, I wouldn't say world level fighter, but he's been in there with some world class fighters and mixed it. But I think that if Sam can carry on in the form that he's been in, why wait? I think sometimes you've got to seize the opportunities when they arise, and. You could have made a quick defence of the British against, all due respect, against maybe a British opponent that's not at his level, and he might take the foot off the gas. But with a European title against a very, very live opponent, it's going to keep him intrigued, keep him buzzing in the gym, keep him going, keep him, keep him, make sure his eye doesn't come off the prize. And another belt to add to his ever-expanding collection.
Yeah.
I mean, he must have one huge, only seconded to Tyson Fury's mantelpiece. But he's collecting some accolades and some belts. And fingers crossed Saturday night, if he's done his homework and done his prep work within the gym, which I'm sure he has, I think he'd be fine. But I think it's just about keeping the momentum going, and the opportunity arose, and he wanted to grab it with both hands.
No, and it's a big statement. Not only if he wins, because this guy's only been beaten by good fighters, but if he stops him, if he stops Yven Mendy, who no one's been able to stop so far, that proves his power and proves his levels, right?
Absolutely. Listen, we all know that Sam's got the power. Has he got the secret? That's so bad. But we all know he's got the. We all know he's got the power.
Yeah.
His record speaks for itself. I liken Sam, and I've said it a few times, to this, like expanding foam. Once he's on you and it gets into you, you just can't get him off.
Just can't get it off.
Asked Lewis Sylvester how he felt, after round 3, and Lewis just said, "Oh, he's just so strong. He just wouldn't leave me alone. He wouldn't get off me. He's almost a bit, he's like a bully. He just does. He knows every trick in the book, and not just the technical skills that he's learned, and keeps improving on fight. With, from working with Alan Smith and Eddie Lamb in the eye box. It's his dogged determination just to not let people off the hook, and it's not concussive one-punch power that are stopping these guys. It's dogged determination and just grueling nastiness. And I don't think Mendy's been in with anyone like this before. It's so young, so fresh, so hungry, so passionate, with the passion to win. And although he's the nicest guy you'll ever likely to meet, not just in boxing or in sport, but any walk of life.
Top fella. Yeah.
He's a real bastard when he gets between the ropes, and I think Yven Mendy, all due respect to him, I just think this, he's coming up against a young man who's just way too hungry for him to get any sort of any joy out of Saturday night.
Well, we talk about momentum, and he became British champion February. He could become European champion in April. Is there a bigger picture than this? Because I know that Denis Baranchyk is promoted by Queensberry Promotions alongside K2. He's fighting for the vacant WBO lightweight title against Emmanuel Navarrete. Have you got an eye on what's going on there?
Well, that's a good question, because there was it links to your earlier question about why have we taken this fight against Mendy for the European title now rather than having a defence of the British. We all know that fight's happening for the vacant WBO world title, so I wanted Sam to get sort of a bit more world level experience. If the opportunity comes up to fight the winner of that, again, you take it with both hands, whether it's July, September, October, but before the end of the year, I mean, if you offer me Baranchyk in September, I'd take it in a heartbeat. Navarrete, I think he's obviously the more technically skilled of the two, and he probably is definitely the favourite for that fight, but he's coming up in weight division. So for someone who, it's Sam's style of fighting, who gets bigger and gets huge overnight, is a monster in the ring, won't leave you alone. Could he cope with Navarete's skills? Yeah, by jumping all over him, probably. And it's definitely either 100% take the winner of Navarrete and Baranchyk.
Yeah, I'll tell you, if you are the winner of that fight, and you see a guy, say he just knocks out Mendy, and you say, well, this is who you've got to fight now, 14 fights, 14 wins, 14 knockouts, especially if you're Navarrete, who's a smaller guy, I don't know if you're going to like the look of that.
Don't tell him this, don't say that, don't tell him that.
Won't tell him.
Yeah, don't tell him. I think that he's on a roll, and we're not getting carried away saying that Sam's ready to go and knock boots with the biggest, with the best lightweights in the world. But that is a fight, Baranchyk and Navarrete. That I really do believe Sam would cope very, very well with the winner of that. Do we take the loser? See where he's at? That's maybe not even a bad shout. If Baranchyk gets beat, defence of the European title against him. Who knows if that's a good idea. But listen, first and foremost, Mendy is the wall that he's got to get over on Saturday night. And if he does that in style against Mendy, like you said, he could propel himself onto a world stage, and the winner of that world title fight, and on May 18th they might fancy taking on the undefeated British and European champion. 100%.
Well, let's see if he can get over that wall, or even through the wall, which is what he tends to do.
That's the one,
Henry Turner, now he's doing very well, 12-0. The opponent that he's got wasn't the first choice,
no.
Right? You had a British opponent, unfortunately pulled out, right? So tell me what the process has been like, and what do you know about the guy that he's going to be fighting?
It's the guy he's fighting. He's very, very tough, very durable, and I think it's no disrespect to the original opponent, but it may even be, it's a different box of tricks that he's got to work out on Saturday night. We wanted a British opponent just because I think that Henry's knocking on the door for when those British and Commonwealth titles become available, which I can't see, I think they will become available in the not too distant future. And there's some good fights out there at super lightweight for Henry, and at welterweight. I think he could be one of those guys that flips between the two weights. But it's obviously it's always a frustration when your original opponent is changed at a couple of weeks' notice, and it's been very tough to match him. Everyone knows that Henry Turner he's a terrific fighter, terrific technically gifted fighter, and he's getting some power as he's finding his man strength. Not many people want to know about it, so I think he needs to put on another class performance on Saturday, and continue to show his skills in the shop window.
And how far off do you think he is from? You talked about British and Commonwealth titles soon in his future. Now the British champion is Dalton Smith. He says technically he thinks he's right up there with Dalton Smith now. What do you make of it?
It's an experience thing. Dalton's a terrific fighter, and I think Dalton's he's probably a couple of stages ahead of Henry. And I don't think Henry or Al would mind me saying that. Dalton's, I think he's a WBC silver champion now, so he's knocking the door for a world title. Mandated for the European as well, and obviously we all know what's happened there. Let's not go there. But I think Henry's he's ready for a British title fight against the next highest ranked British opponent after this fight. We're definitely making an application for Henry to be mandatory for the British.
Okay, well that's good news. Good to know. You've also got another brilliant super lightweight in the Queensberry stable as well, in Pierce O'Leary as well. Is that something you've kind of thought about and imagined?
No, maybe not.
Separate paths for now.
Bit of politics there, so, so probably not. No, again, I think that experience-wise, Pierce is just slightly ahead of Henry again, and I think Pierce would be probably more likely knocking on the door for a European title. So listen, further down the line, their paths may well cross if they're two undefeated fighters for the European or for world titles in a year or two. Let's see, but I think Pierce is again. He's just that one step ahead of Henry at the moment.
Okay, Francis, thank you.
Thank you very much.
Any final words ahead of tomorrow night?
Just tune in tomorrow.
Yeah,
just to see the best of British. And I think it's these York Hall shows are really giving some of these youngsters a great chance to showcase what they can do, and not getting sort of hidden away on the undercards of big shows, and it obviously propels them onto that next level, but so that everyone can see it. I think they're terrific, and they're doing a great job. And so are you, Dev.
So stop it! Thank you, Francis Warren.
Cheers, Dev.
Thank you, and thank you for tuning in. That is the weigh-in complete. All they've got to do now is have a fight, and we know what the main event is: the return of Sam Noakes. 13 fights, 13 wins, 13 knockouts. But this guy, Yven Mendy, he's never been knocked out. He's quite the player in the lightweight division. Let's see if Sam Noakes can go through him like he has with every other opponent so far. Tune in, 7:45, TNT Sports. We'll see you then.